In this video, I'm gonna be showing you all how to achieve a spotlight look in the studio. In order to get this look, I'm gonna be using the Godox SA-17. This is a projector unit that attaches directly to your Bowens mount adapter. One thing to keep in mind, this thing will not fit on every single light attachment, right? So this is my 8400 Pro. As you can see, it does fit on here, but I've got the DP403 as well. I've got two of these studio strobes. This sits well far forward from where the Bowens mount adapter is. And so this actually won't fit even if you take the modeling light off because the strobe is just too far forward. So keep in mind, if you're gonna get one of these, make sure it's gonna work with whatever lighting setup you have before you purchase it. Now, the way this works is this attaches to your 8400 Pro and you've got I've got this gobo here. These are called gobos. This is the SA-06. This is a little attachment that goes into the projector unit. You can actually determine how much light is going to, or how big the spotlight is with this little lever after you put it into the SA-17. So it's pretty nifty. So you guys will get to see exactly how this works. The model is on the way. We're about to do a shoot. Let me get everything set up and show you guys what it looks like. All right, so Charlene is here. We're about to put her in front of the spotlight on the backdrop. We're gonna make some magic. We got a few different looks, so let's get going. So for this look, I'm using just one light here, the 8400. I've got it at full power. Now, because I'm only shooting with one light, my settings are a little different here. I'm shooting at f3.5 for my aperture. My shutter speed is at 1/200th of a second, and my ISO is at 100. And so what I wanted was for her to be lit, and I wanted the outside of that spotlight to be darker, just to give a little bit more character to the shot. Okay, now for this next look, we're about to take that same spotlight with the Godox SA-17. I'm gonna lift the light above her and shoot down so that the spotlight will be more on the ground and she'll be lit kind of in this really cool way. So check it out. So like I said, I've got the 8400 with the Godox SA-17 right above the subject. I'm shooting straight down onto her, which is kind of cool. So you can see the spotlight on the actual floor. It makes for an interesting look from a lighting perspective, but you have to be careful when you're taking these photos because you'll get really contrasty photos. And so you may have to do some post-processing. Let me jump in the Lightroom and show you. So there is one thing I wanted to change from some of these photos. And keep in mind, when you're shooting with spotlights, you're gonna get some really intense contrast, right? And so you've got like, you know, the whites and the highlights here are relatively bright and then the shadows are really dark. And then right here, we lost quite a bit of detail. And that could be the look that you're going for, right? It's a really dramatic look. That's not the look that I wanted here. And I wanna lighten up just this little portion right in here. And for that, I'm gonna use some masking. So I'm gonna click masking, I'm gonna click radial gradient. And then I'm going to make a little circle, or maybe even like an oval, which you can kind of readjust however you like. And I'm gonna put it right in this area right here. Now I'm gonna raise the shadows. So I'm gonna bring the shadows up just until we get some of that detail back. Let me rotate this a little bit, place it right here, yeah. And so what you'll have is just a little bit of more detail there. And you can't really tell the difference, obviously. Typically when you underexpose, you have a lot more detail even in the shadows. And so just want to show you guys, and keep that in mind. If you do want your photos to be more lit on the face of your subject, then have them tilt their face more up towards the light, and then their face will be fully in shadow. Obviously, if they tilt down, you get a little bit more of a mysterious look with that contrasty look. Charlene, how you feeling, man? We making some magic?
Yes, we are.
Who is this?
Over here, this is Azula. Say hi, she kind of stuck. Hi.
Okay, so for this last look, we're gonna add some light to this spotlight. Let me show you how. Okay, so I've got my DP403 right here, and I've got this gel that I've got clipped to the front of it here. This is just gonna be like for the shadows. The blue is gonna act for the shadows, and then I'm gonna have the the 8400 Pro, along with the Godox SA-17. It's just gonna be a normal spotlight on the backdrop here. And let me show you what look we're gonna get with this. Good. Good. Yep. I love that.
So if
you're looking to do something like this, I've got a pack of gels for the SA-17. You can just go on Amazon. They're relatively cheap to get attachments for it. And I've had these gels for a while. Gels are relatively pretty cheap. The tricky thing about gels is making sure that when you're using them, whatever light you're using as your primary light needs to be exposed correctly. So I've got the actual spotlight on her exposed as I have the entire shoot. Then I added the gel, and basically the shadows around where the spotlight is where you'll see that blue color, right? You don't see it as much on her, maybe a little bit like on her shadow and like kind of from like a rim light standpoint, but for the most part, it only lights the shadows, which is pretty cool. You're able to do a number of things. If you got more than one light, you can put 2 gels up, maybe on each side to get different colors. For this one, I was like, I'll just use this blue. I did look at trying to like add a gel to the spotlight itself, but I didn't like the way the colors looked, so I just left it here. But again, I think it's important when you're shooting to make sure that you guys try different things, try different angles, and kind of just see what works. That's all for this video. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. You shoot with off-camera flash.
Remember to smash that like button.
There are
Remember to like and subscribe if you want more content.
Oh my gosh, let's go. I love that. And
Wait.